Moving on now, back to our feature story and the arrest of Harriet Rann on murder charges, allegedly over a drug deal gone bad. It's a chilling reminder of just how insidious the ice epidemic is.
Harriet Rann had every advantage society could provide. The daughter of late New South Wales Premier Neville and the goddaughter of Kerry Packer, the University of Sydney student was the essence of respectability. But today the 26-year-old was charged with murder, attempted murder and aggravated break and enter over the stabbing death of Daniel John McNulty in Redfern on Sunday night.
If you're in court and you listened rather than annoying people, you would have heard not guilty.
Police will allege Ms Rann was at the victim's unit to buy ice in the company of two men, also charged over the murder.
Could hear screaming non-stop. I thought about ringing the police, but because we hear this every night, why bother?
Ice addiction can cause paranoia and psychosis, and the drug has been linked with a number of murders. Deaths from overdose are second only to heroin. Ice is a widespread problem with no clear solution. Facing a lack of answers, today a group in Geelong and Victoria got together at their community health centre to tackle the crisis.
Once it sort of touches you personally with a close friend, you understand how lethal this drug is and what it can actually do to you. The problem with this drug, it's ruining good people.
Ice doesn't discriminate. Rich, poor, old or young, anyone can fall victim.
Jack Nagle is a drug counsellor who is a former ice user himself. Jack, let's start at the start. How did you get addicted to ice?
Oh, look, I was using various different drugs, and I was using amphetamines, commonly known as speed, which is not quite as strong as ice, and I started using ice because it was stronger and it got me where I needed to go a little bit faster than speed did, and I didn't have to spend as much money at first. But that eventually quickly went away and I was just hooked on it.
So what were you like on it? What sort of things did you do when you were under the influence?
Look, it's really interesting because I guess I come from a really good family. I was quite good at sport and I had a complete attitude shift, if you like, when I started using drugs and especially ice. I started crossing all my moral boundaries and I was suicidal. I went into psychosis a lot and didn't even really know that I was in psychosis. And really, it was quite a horrific experience.
Jack, you know what's interesting is a lot of people watching this would be very surprised because you do not look like what many people would imagine an addict looks like. And that seems to be a really interesting thing about ice, is it seems to cut across working class, middle class. It doesn't seem to have certain boundaries that we've associated with drug use before.
Yeah, that's 100% right. And it's something that we see a lot out at DayHab, is that ice is widespread across the community and people use it for a number of different reasons, and we get a lot of business people using it, but people that I see on a daily basis at work, you know, sometimes don't look like they've even had a problem with drugs in the past.
Do you ever worry? Are you scared of a relapse, or you feel like you're past that point now?
Oh, 100%. I think I'm on a lifelong journey with this, and you know, just because I've stopped using it hasn't gone away. If I stop participating and talking to people and, you know, like getting involved in therapy and things like that, then, you know, I do believe that I am at a good risk of going back to it.
How hard was it to get off ice, Jack, and what motivated it?
Oh, look, I found it extremely hard. I was using probably ice for about a year, and it brought me to my knees really quick. So I found it extremely hard to get off it without going into some sort of treatment facility or detox.
Now, you've had experience with ice yourself. You've also had experience with people who've been addicted to heroin. It seems that the prevalence of the two is very different. It feels like ice is far more widespread. How do you think we need to tackle this in a different way?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I think a big thing that we're finding out at DayHab is it starts with the culture and the attitude that people have towards it. I think there can be a bit of an attitude when first taking it that it's this really amazingly horrific event, and a lot of people taking it are under the delusion that they're not addicts because they might not look like what the media stereotypes, and therefore it feeds into their denial. So we really come at it from the point of it has to change within the culture and the attitudes and the way that people look at ice use, I think would be the best way to tackle it.
We've got a long way to go with this one, but Jack, thanks for helping us start the conversation.
Thanks.
And good on you for helping others too. I'm sure you're making a massive difference.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And if you or anyone you know is struggling, you can always call Lifeline on 13 11 14. For more information on addiction treatment, head to our website.
We're going to take another break now. We'll be back in a moment.